All right, let's talk about creatine side effects. Now, creatine is one of the few supplements out there that I think has really good evidence for its use. Generally speaking, doesn't have a lot of side effects. If you see them, they're going to be pretty mild, but there can be more serious ones. We'll talk about that. And at the end of the video, I'll give you some kind of pointers to use creatine in the best way possible, lower your risk of potential side effects. Okay, so first of all, what are the most common ones? You're going to be looking at stomach related side effects. Diarrhea, stomach upsets, so number 2 and 3 tend to be the most common I see. People can experience dehydration, cramping, as well as water retention. Okay, there's a lot of arguments out there about why that's occurring, but those are the things you're most commonly going to see, okay, at the normal doses that creatine should be taken at. Now, what about warnings and rare side effects? Can those happen? They can. Again, I want to stress that they're rare, but for example, we have case reports. Case reports is just a one-person report that, for example, interstitial nephritis and rhabdomyolysis, so organ issues. Okay, these are very serious. You want to be careful with it. But when you look at these case studies, these were people taking really high doses of creatine, doing it long term, and a lot of them they were either very young or they had serious medical issues. So is it really the creatine that's a huge risk factor? That's up for argument. But I think the biggest thing is stay at the lower end of the dosing range. These people were taking 12 to 21 grams a day of creatine for a week as a loading dose, and then doing 10 grams a day for 2 years. Okay. But you look at the flip side of the coin, there's studies of people having much higher doses than that, 30 grams a day, and doing it for 5 years. No kidney issues. So is it creatine? Creatine is a risk factor. I mean, if you have other issues going on, you do want to be careful. The bottom line for me is I encourage people. Creatine's a good supplement. It can cause side effects, just like anything. But I think when you start at the lower end of the dosing range, for example, 2 to 3 grams a day would be a great starting point. See how you do. Remember, your body makes creatine from your food, okay? Primarily muscle meats that you're eating, red meat, fish, whatever it might be. Your body will make creatine from that. So if you're somebody, for example, if you're a vegetarian, not eating a lot of protein, creatine may be a supplement you want to think about. I would just stay towards the lower end of that dosing range. That's going to minimize your side effects. The serious side effects, I think, are very, controversial, for lack of a better term. But I think they tend to be a problem for people who have previous health issues. If you have kidney problems or if you're dosing really high, I think that's a bad idea. And it depends on your diet and your health status. If you're a vegetarian, you're probably able to go up a little higher on the dose because you're probably not going to be making a lot of creatine. At any rate, guys, I'll include links to some of these studies in the description. Let me know in the comments other topics you want me to cover that would be helpful for you. Let me know. I'll get them made. I hope this was helpful. See you then.